everybody. Hey, welcome along to the Big Quiz Night In. This is episode 82 this evening, and as always, the subjects are down the right-hand side bar there. And so this evening we'll be doing food and drink tricky round, which is something different and new you might not have seen there before. And we'll be doing around the UK as well. So that's a kind of a geography round, but mainly based in the UK. And finally, our survey says round this evening, we'll be doing not one, not two, but three questions from Family Fortunes with the board on screen as well for you to try and work out those answers. Somebody's saying they can't hear anything. Let me just check. It might just be your end, but let me know in the comments if anybody else is having trouble with hearing anything, because the microphone's working my side. Might be your end, Diva. Let me know, can anybody else hear me okay? If so, we'll know it's a local problem and it won't be a problem my end. Let's just see how it goes. Can you hear me? Let's see what it says in the comments then, guys. It's low. Okay, I can adjust it. I can adjust it. You can hear me. All right, turn your volumes up. I'll turn the volume up my side as well. Loud and clear in Blackpool, yeah. Okay, so what I suggest you do, guys, is turn your volumes up because I don't want to turn my volume up much more. Yeah, some people are saying they can hear everything fine. Okay, so check your own devices, please. Turn your volumes up because everybody else is saying it sounds fine here. And I've just turned it up a touch my side as well. I don't want to blow away speakers around campsites like apparently I nearly did the first time we tried this. So I hope you're all doing well. Welcome along. And Diva's still having trouble hearing us apparently. So that's unfortunate. Please do what you can. Maybe try a different device. I don't know. There's not much more I can say because everybody else can hear me. Sorry. This evening, though, we do have Abby, my daughter, coming to ask a question again. That will kick off the show officially as our first trivia question. And that will be the only question where I ask that you put the answers in the comments, because that's just for fun and to see who can earn themselves a bonus point. She's doing everything she can right now to distract me, which means she might find herself not coming back if she carries that on. Let's say some hellos to everybody then, and we will then move on. We'll move on to Abby's question and we'll bring her in. So let's see who we've got here this evening. I know we've got Diva. We just said she's having some sound problems. I hope she can sort it out soon. I want to say hi to Ed and I presume Amanda as well. I hope you're doing well. Millie's back with us. She missed it last week, but she's back. Glad to have you here. Welcome to Mark Botti as well, who's a new person joining. I will explain everything as we go along again, so don't worry. I'm glad you could join us as a new viewer, and if anybody else is watching and you're new, let me know in the comments. Do say hello. So hi to Sue and the Donuts team. Hi to Gabby. She says, I'm quizzing with my boyfriend Chris tonight. Team name to be decided. Interesting. You've got backup. You don't need it, but you've got backup tonight, so everybody better look out. Eric, Blackpool Bar Stewards, Eric and Chris are here. Jenny says hello from Team Bath as well, all the way from Switzerland. Welcome along. Who else have we got here this evening? Catherine says they can hear everything fine. So Catherine, Tony there watching. Glad you can join us. Luke and Jane as well. And we've got the Brazilians team here, so hello to all of you too. Mark says, I'll bring some Yanks with me next time. Excellent. We used to have an American contingent watching when the lockdowns were at their peak. We did have some Americans watching as well as a few other international viewers. Now, the only international viewers we generally have are Team Bath, as I just addressed, from Switzerland. Diva says, logged off, logged on again, sorted. Do you know how many times does that solve the problem? Turn it off and on again, and it fixes it, doesn't it? So often. But yes, welcome along to everybody. Nice little turnout again this evening, and I'm looking forward to bringing you today's quizzes. Especially excited that I managed to fix for you the survey says round, so it's 3 questions instead of 1 or 2 that we've done before. So with that said, let's bring in Abby for the first question of the evening. Here we go, everybody.
Hello.
Here's Abby. She's come to ask the first question of the evening. So, Abby's come up with this question all on her own this time. No help.
I was upstairs.
Yeah, I just
Looked
asked
up
her.
on Google.
Yep, So we'll bring the question up on screen, and this is the one you get to answer in the comments. Whoever gets it right, whoever gets it right the fastest, based on who we see in the comments first, can have a bonus point they can add to their scores in any quiz round throughout the rest of the evening. Okay, so let's bring the question up, and Abby can ask that question. Here is the question.
And I thought it all by myself.
All right, do you want to read it up here then?
Which is the most endangered animal in the world? Is it A, Siberian tiger, B, a Javan rhino, or C, a giant panda?
Okay, say it one more time, then we'll give people thinking time on that one.
Which is the most endangered animal in the world? Is it A, Siberian tiger, B, a Javan rhino,
yep,
or C, a giant panda?
Okay, so we have got some answers coming in. We've got some guesses coming in. You can see them here. I'm just going to go onto the other screen though here. Look. So most people, let me see. We've got some A's and B's in the comments. We've got 1 or 2 C's showing up. So the first person then to get it right is here. But let's bring up the answer first, shall we? Do you want to tell them what the answer is?
The answer is B.
There we go. Look, I'll put a picture in there as well.
Save the world, save the rhinos.
Yeah, absolutely. So the Javan rhino then. Let's see who got it right the fastest then. If you have a look over on this screen, see this one here, look?
Yeah.
Oh, let me just make sure that is the first one. Yes, so this one. Can you say that name?
Jenny Bath.
Team Bath. Well done, Jenny and Team Bath. You were the first ones to get it right this evening. It is B, the Javan rhino. There we go. We like that one. Good question, Abby. Good job. Yeah, you'll be putting me out on my job soon. Andy says Abby is a future quiz master. All right, everybody say good night then to Abby, and thank you all for having a go at that first question.
Bye.
Bye. Off you get then, and I'll crack on with the rest of the quiz. You got room just about. There we go. Right. Good night, darling. See you later. Okay. Right, let's move on then, shall we, to round number 1 officially. Round number 1, all right, thank you very much. Round number 1 is our food and drink round. So, food and drink. Now, the other thing we do for the food and drink for the round 1, really, whatever the subjects are, round 1, round 2, and round 3, I have started showing pictures across the top of the screen. And those pictures will give you, if you get them right, extra bonus points. So that at the end of each quiz round, you can add on a couple of bonus points if you get those right as well. It gives you something different to look at in between the questions. So while other people are having thinking time, you might not need that. And you can have a look at these pictures and try and work out what those answers are. And it helps pass the time in between the questions. Because the hardest thing, for the benefit of new people watching, the hardest thing for me is to gauge the time I should give between each question. Sometimes you'll need more thinking time than others. At the end of each quiz round, though, I do offer time to repeat questions. So you just let me know in the comments at the end what quiz questions you'd like me to repeat at the end of each round. Tonight's a little bit different. Instead of pictures, we're going to do riddles. So there's going to be a riddle on screen for each round. Okay, so for those first 3 rounds, 3 different riddles. So there'll be 2 points still if you get the riddle correct. Don't put this in the comments though, just keep it to yourself, just like all the other questions from now on. There is the riddle for round number 1. I cannot talk, but will always reply when spoken to. What am I? So something a bit different again. Have a think about that whilst we crack on with the food and drink round. You're going to get 15 questions, as always, for these 3 rounds. 15 questions, 1 point for each, unless otherwise stated. And I'll do repeats at the end. Keep them all to yourself. At the end, we'll go through the answers. You can mark your own answers. Let me know how you did in the comments, along with the quiz team name, if you would like to. So, question number 1 for you now. Which animal stands on top of a fox's glacier mint? Which animal stands on top of a fox's glacier mint? That is question number 1. Question 1 of 15. I think I'll just keep mixing up what we do in terms of pictures or riddles or anything like that, just to keep something on screen to keep you occupied. So, and I'm always always welcoming of feedback and any suggestions and things, because this is, I think, the fifth or sixth time we've done this new look quiz show, as opposed to just me being on camera, with all this new tech I've got at my disposal now. So always welcoming feedback. Let me know your thoughts. Okay, question number 2 is for 3 points. Which companies produce breakfast cereals called Shreddies, Frosties, and Ready Brek? Which companies produce breakfast cereals called Shreddies, Frosties, and Ready Brek? Three points for that one. Name the companies that produce those breakfast cereals. I should point out that generally speaking, quiz questions will be UK centric, shall we say. So if there are subtle differences in different countries, then we can allow for that. But let me know in the comments and we'll work it out. But I think for these ones, generally, it'll be fine. Of course, if I know we've got a lot of Americans joining next time, then it might be a bit different and I might be more mindful of that going into the quiz, but we'll see. Question, is this quiz every Tuesday? Mark says. It is every Tuesday night at 8 o'clock, except for the last Tuesday of the month. So unfortunately, that means next week we won't be on Facebook Live. The reason that is because it's my Patreon quiz night. So there are some of you very kind people who support me financially to do this. £2 a month is the minimum level entry for that, and that gains you access to the Patreon quiz night, which is done on Google Meet. So everybody's generally on camera, we're all talking to each other. I'm hosting a game show instead of a quiz. We do things like blockbusters, and we do Jeopardy, and we do speed quizzing, which you need an app for. I'll explain a bit more as we go on throughout the evening, but that's the last Tuesday of every month. But every other Tuesday, yes, this is where I'll be. And there's loads of others that are uploaded here. You can watch back and again repeats if you wanted to as well, if you're ever bored. Question number 3 now. Question 3. Which brand of chocolate egg contains a small plastic toy? Which brand of chocolate egg contains a small plastic toy? Yes. But thank you for joining anyway. Really appreciate it. Always nice to see new faces or see new names in the comments. And the reason I do the quiz like this and just get you to keep track of your own answers and do things that way is to keep it casual. There's a few quizzes and different things out there which are much more competitive, and I just think this is more about having fun and being part of a community, and we can chat and talk to each other and, you know, have conversations and just have a laugh, really. So there's no pressure and no stress, which is, I think, is an important thing given the kind of world we're living in and have been living in since I started doing this through the pandemic. So yeah, it'll always be that kind of quiz on the Facebook show. Question number 4 now. Question 4. Which ice cream is vanilla, strawberry, and chocolate flavored? Which ice cream is vanilla, strawberry, and chocolate flavored? One ice cream is flavored with all 3 of those. So name that for 1 point. I should be knighted, Mark says. Well, do you know, it's funny you should say that. Not that I'm being knighted. That's very kind of you to say. Yeah, 82 episodes of this particular show I've been doing. And I also do quiz content elsewhere, which I'll talk about throughout the evening just to promote myself a bit more as I do. I had a conversation with a former regular of the pub quiz nights where I actually host in person the other week, and they recently, well, they moved away just before the pandemic, and they told me basically how much I effectively saved them at the start of that, the worst of the lockdown, when they were in a pretty dark place, having a young child who's never really been outside and socialized with anybody because they were locked down for a year of that child's life. And it was really quite emotional when we had that conversation, but it was very sweet, and it just made it all feel really worthwhile. So I just thought I'd mention that now that you've brought that up in the comments. I should be knighted. I wouldn't go that far, but it is lovely to hear that what I'm doing is helping people and has helped people. And I just want to carry on now. I've got the bug. I love it. I love doing this for you guys. So Yeah. Question number, where are we now? Question number 5 is for 3 points. Question 5. Which celebrity chefs own the gastro pubs called the Hind's Head in Bray, the Hand and Flowers in Marlow, and the Greyhound in Henley? Which celebrity chefs owned the gastro pubs called the Hind's Head in Bray, the Hand and Flowers in Marlow, and the Greyhound in Henley? I say owned, past tense. They might not own them now, but they certainly did. You saved our sanity during pandemic. Yeah, I'm glad I could do that. I certainly am. And to be honest, because I couldn't be in the pubs hosting the quiz as I normally would through the worst of it, it saved my sanity too. Because yeah, it's my routine, it's my life doing these things in my spare time. So yeah, yeah, definitely helped me too. But I'm really pleased that we've got such a great crowd that have kept this going. It's all good. Question number 6 in the food and drink round. What dish did Basil Fawlty fail to make for his irritating American guest? What dish did Basil Fawlty fail to make for his irritating American guest? And if you go back and watch some of the earlier episodes, for those who are new, you'll see the beard gradually get longer and longer and longer and longer. I just didn't bother cutting it. I noticed that when I was scrolling back through my TikToks, where I also post quizzes, shameless plug. And yeah, it's funny just watching it over time, how things changed and evolved and the beard grew. Great question, Mark says. Oh, I'm glad you like it. All right, question number 7 now. Question 7. What does a Stelvin replace in the wine industry? What does a Stelvin replace in the wine industry? It's a posh name for something. Question number 8 is for 3 points. What liqueurs are added to make an Irish, French, and Italian coffees? So 1 point for each of those. Which liqueurs are added to make an Irish, French, and Italian coffee? Remember, you can ask me for repeats of questions once we get to the end of the round and that last question's asked. I will remind you again when we get there. Question number 9 now. Question 9. What name is given to a barrel of ale containing 72 pints? What name is given to a barrel of ale containing 72 pints? Question number 10 is for another 3 points. Which spirit brand labels feature a yeoman of the guard, a bat, and a pirate? 3 points there, 3 different brands. Which spirit brand labels feature a yeoman of the guard, a bat, and a pirate? 1 point for each. Okay. How are we getting on with the riddle? Has anybody worked it out yet? I wonder. Don't put what it is in the comments, but if you're feeling confident, you can let me know if you think you've got it, just to keep the conversation going. I don't know if anybody's noticed with the comments that appear on the screen, so here, replies to people's comments don't appear there. So it's better, since I'm using this feature, that you just use comments generally and don't reply to people directly, because I forgot that. And at the start of the evening, when people were asking me, like Mark was asking me about how the quiz worked, I replied and realised again, it doesn't show on the screen here. It only shows in the main Facebook comments, which not everybody will be looking at. So yeah, continue to comment how you have been, and try not to reply to people directly unless you think it's really necessary. Otherwise, it won't show up on the screen. Question number 11 now. Question 11. In what year was the Kronenberg Brewery founded? In what year was the Kronenberg Brewery founded? You can have 2 points if you get that exactly right. I'm sure most of you will. 2 points, though, when we do name the year kind of questions, I generally say you get 2 points if you get it exactly right. And if for whatever reason you happen to be 1 year either side, you get 1 point for being close. I think if you're going to hazard a guess at the answer, though, you're going to get that one right. But I will give you that 2 points if you get it exactly right. In what year was the Kronenberg Brewery founded? Question 12 then. Question number 12. Which sweet brand could you buy in the UK in mint, peppermint, cinnamon, cherry, orange, lime, and wintergreen flavours, amongst others? It's one type of sweet you could buy that is in all of those flavours. Mint, peppermint, cinnamon, cherry, orange, lime, and wintergreen flavours, amongst others. What is the name of that sweet? So have a think about that one. We've got 3 more questions left in this round. We'll do the repeats and go through the answers and see how well you did. If you haven't come up with a team name yet, you don't have to have a team name, but because this evolved from a pub quiz, it's fun to have a pub quiz team name. So if you do want to come up with something funny to call yourselves and you haven't done so already, feel free to do so. If not, just like to see your scores in the comments when we get to that point. Or if you really don't want to, you don't have to. You don't have to share it at all. It's entirely up to you. Team Botti, Mark says, I like it. Why not? Great surname, make the most of it. Sounds good to me. Question 13. Which 2 fruits give Lilt its original totally tropical taste? Which 2 fruits give Lilt its original totally tropical taste? These are not the fruits I would have guessed. I never stopped to think what flavour it was, other than, well, one of them I think I knew, but the other one I didn't. And it's not the one I would have guessed if I were taking part. Question number 14 is for 3 points. Which 3 organs make up the sheep's pluck that goes into the haggis? Which 3 organs make up the sheep's pluck that goes into the haggis? It's changed it now. Okay, it's no problem. If you do settle on a team name and you keep it every Facebook quiz, that means that all the regulars will get to know you, and you'll get to recognise some of the names as well in the comments. So it makes it that much easier, I think, if you do have a regular team name. But it's totally up to you. Okay, the last question this round is for a final 3 points. I should probably have double checked before I started how you pronounce one of these. Okay, question 15. I'm just going to say it and hope for the best. In Italy, what is a ciambella, a pappardelle, and a fontina? You say it with a slight Italian accent, it sounds right anyway, so I'm just going to stick with it. In Italy, what is a ciambella? Ciambella. I'm going to put this in the comments as well. Ciambella, a pappardelle, and a fontina. What are those 3 things? Remember, it's a food and drink round, so it's going to be connected to that in some way. But let me just put this in the comments for you. There you go. Should see that coming up in a moment. There we go. Oh, the Lilt has changed its name now. Oh, okay. All right. Yeah, I don't really drink soft drinks like that. But what 2 flavours was it, if it's changed its name now? Is it still exactly the same drink, I wonder? This is an older quiz round, in fairness, that I've picked this from the archives, so Sometimes that happens, but I didn't know it had changed its name. Maybe that's a question in itself for a future quiz. Okay. Yeah, there's definitely two flavors to it. So let's see now. If anybody wants any questions repeated, let me know in the comments which numbers of the questions you'd like repeated. We can do those as always, and then we'll go through the answers. So I'll read out the questions again and the answers with them. You mark your own, tally up your scores, put them in the comments along with the team name if you'd like to. And I'll then read them out, give you all a shout out as we go through them. We celebrate with those who do well and we commiserate with those who perhaps don't do so well. But remember, it is just for fun. All right. Right, so question 12 and 5 are being asked here. So Mark's asked for number 12. Which sweet brand could you buy in the UK in mint, peppermint, cinnamon, cherry, orange, lime, and wintergreen flavours, amongst others? So which one sweets came in all those flavours? And number 5 and 7 for Gabby. Okay, so number 5, which celebrity chefs owned the gastropubs called the Hind's Head in Bray, the Hand and Flowers in Marlow, and the Greyhound in Henley? And number 7 for Gabby as well. And the donuts need 7 and 8 and then 14. Cool, keep them coming, that's fine. Question 7 was, what does a Stelvin replace in the wine industry? What does a Stelvin replace in the wine industry? Number 8 for the donuts was, what liqueurs are added to make an Irish, a French, and an Italian coffee? 1 point for each of those. What liqueurs are added to make an Irish, a French, and an Italian coffee? And then number 14 for Ed. 14 was, which 3 organs make up the sheep's pluck that goes into a haggis? When you realise or are reminded of what goes into a haggis, it sounds like it should be the most vile thing ever, but actually I don't mind it. I don't mind it. It's all right. It's very rich, so I wouldn't necessarily have too much of it, but it's pretty good. I gotta be honest. I'm pretty sure it's a vegan or a vegetarian's worst nightmare, but at the same time, for those of us who are carnivores, it's pretty good. It's all right. That's all the repeats. So yeah, Mark says it is. Yeah, it's all right. Not bad at all. I actually got some in randomly. Must have it at some point. Anyway, acquired taste for sure. Yeah, it definitely is an acquired taste. Yeah, very, very rich, I find, but not bad. With the right accompaniments, I suppose. All right, I'm going to go through the answers, unless there's any more repeat requests that come in the next few seconds. I'm just going to go through them and we'll see how well you did. So tally up your scores once you hear these answers and we'll see how you go. Question number 1, which animal stands on top of Fox's Glacier Mint? It is a polar bear. Question 2, the companies that produce breakfast cereals called Shreddies, Frosties, and Ready Brek are Nestle, Kellogg's, and Weetabix. Question 3, the brand of chocolate egg that contains a small plastic toy is a Kinder Surprise egg, which was banned in America for the longest time. I don't know if, I think some states have allowed it back in. I don't know if all of them, but it was banned because it's a dangerous choking hazard, obviously. Yeah, that's banned. Question 4. Kinder Surprise eggs. Anyway, question 4. Which ice cream is vanilla, strawberry, and chocolate flavored? It's called Neapolitan ice cream. Question 5. Which celebrity chefs owned the gastropubs called the Hind's Head in Bray, the Hand and Flowers in Marlow, and the Greyhound in Henley? It was Heston Blumenthal, Tom Kerridge, and Anthony Worrell Thompson. Question 6. What dish did Basil Fawlty fail to make for his irritating American guest? That was a Waldorf salad. Question 7. What does a Stelvin replace in the wine industry? The Stelvin replaces a cork because that's the name given to the screw cap on bottles of wine now, or as the alternative. to a cork. They put screw caps on. They're called Stelvins. Question. So you had to put cork to get the point because that's what's being replaced. Question 8. What liqueurs are added to make an Irish, French, and Italian coffee? So it's Irish whiskey for an Irish coffee, a Grand Marnier for a French coffee, and an Italian coffee is Amaretto. Question number 9. What name is given to a barrel of ale containing 72 pints? That is a firkin. I could make a joke about that, but I probably shouldn't. My wife's trying to make some joke as well out of it. Yeah, I think I'll just move on. A firkin, that's number 9. So question 10, which spirit brand labels feature a yeoman of the guard, a bat, and a pirate? So it is Beefeater Gin for yeoman of the guard, the Bacardi bat, and the pirate is on Captain Morgan's rum. Question 11. In what year was Kronenberg Brewery founded? I'm sure most of you got this one. 1664. It's on every pump, bottle, can, glass, everything. 1664. Question 12. Which sweet brand can you buy in the UK in mint, peppermint, cinnamon, cherry, orange, lime, and wintergreen flavours, amongst others? It is Tic Tacs. Question 13. Which 2 fruits gave Lilt its original totally tropical taste? It's pineapple for 1 point and grapefruit. I know, Mark, you mentioned lemon earlier on. I know that Sprite is lemon and lime flavoured, but Lilt is pineapple and grapefruit. Question 14. Which 3 organs make up the sheep's pluck that goes into a haggis? It is heart, liver, and lungs. Question 15. In Italy, what is a ciambella, a pappardelle, and a fontina? They are types of bread, pasta, and cheese. For 3 points. Oh, Mark says you went lime. Do I get one for 1667? No, it's one either side. So 1663 and 1665 get you a bonus point or you were close but no cigar point, however you want to put it. And then 2 points if you got it exactly right. So sadly, no points there for 67. Tally up your scores. I will let you know now as well, the riddle, last chance to write an answer down for a riddle. I cannot talk, but will always reply when spoken to, is an echo. Give yourself 2 points if you got that right. Let me know in the comments how you got on. And let's have a look. Whilst we wait for that to happen and as those scores come in, I will let you know that, and I mentioned this last week, for those of you who are aware, yes, Mark's got echo, well done. Yeah, if you worked it out, you don't have to put it in the comments, but if you worked it out, you give yourself 2 points. The link I'm posting in the comments is the link to my merch store, and I'm sharing that because at the moment there is 15% off everything. I did mention also on the quiz last week that there was another sale coming up soon as well. But for now, there is 15% off everything in the merch store for 3 more days. So if you'd like to get something with Big Quiz Night in or some funny quiz-related phrases in it or on it, t-shirts, hats, hoodies, bags, stickers, you name it, it's all on there. Face masks, it's all there. There's the link. You can also find it if you click the link in the description of this video, which is my beacon link, and behind that is all the other places you can find to support Big Quiz Night In and everything I do here. Lots of different things you can do. Query on French coffee, isn't it brandy or cognac? Diva. Okay, let's have a look what we can find out. French coffee, you might be able to get yourself a bonus point here, or not a bonus point, another point. Grand French coffee is a drink made from Grand Marnier. It's typically prepared in a coffee mug with whipped cream and is commonly referred to as a cocktail. So no, French coffee, Google says Grand Marnier. So no points for brandy. I needed you to put specifically Grand Marnier, I'm afraid, on that one. Quizmaster's decision is final, of course. Here we go with the scores then, and any other comments I'll catch up on now as well. So, Donuts have got themselves 19 points. Team Bath have got 21. Andy says Back in Black 17 plus none. Ooh, okay. Did anybody? Yes, some of you seem to have got it there. That's fine. Okay. 21 plus 2 points for the Blackpool Bar Stewards. Chambella is a cake eaten at breakfast. A cake eaten at breakfast. Is it? Why did he put that then? Let's have a look again. Chambella. Interesting. Let's have another look. Chambella. It's a kind of... Ooh, it does look more cake-like, doesn't it? Is it bread and cake? It's both. Chambella is a very chewy fennel-flavored bread as well. Okay, you can have a point for cake or you can have a point for bread, because if you Google it, chambelle, I don't know why I put Bella. If you Google it, it comes back as both. So yeah, have a point for either or on that one. Okay, thank you for checking though with me. But I'll give you a point for either or. There might be, I don't know, a slight difference in spelling maybe, but it came back as bread for me and cakes. There were choices of both. Okay, where do we get to with the scores then? Ant says 24 plus 2 for Britzillians. Not so golden oldies, 17 plus 2. Luke says 17 points. 19 plus 2 for Diva. 15 for Team Botty. Good score for your debut. Millie says 16 points. Very good. Yeah, Mark's put Brandy as well. Gabby says we got 23 in total. Team name still not decided. Okay, I'm sure you'll work it out. Sometimes these team names just come naturally to people. It will happen. Chris says it is sweet. Okay, yeah, all right. So either or, I think we can accept. In that case, Blackpool Bar Stewards are 22 plus 2 now. That's fine. Good effort. Luke and Jane up to 18 now. Excellent. Yes. Ant says Peter is a beer god. I'm sure he is. Brilliant. I don't know what spurred that on, but okay. Peter is a beard god. Beard god? No. He's not beard god. A beer god, you put. Yes. Brilliant. All right. Keep the comments coming, guys. Loving the conversations today. We're going to move on to the second round of the evening then, which is going to be our tricky round. So, a tricky quiz. I know what you're all thinking. Oh no, it's going to be really difficult. Well, you're probably right. Tricky quiz basically means it's a potluck round. So general knowledge, 15 questions, absolutely any subject goes. But the questions might be considered tricky. Might be, but then it's only easy if you know the answer. It does say here, it's a 15 tricky quiz question quiz that was created for the company that I work for. So sometimes I write the quizzes again for the new people. Sometimes I write the quizzes myself. Sometimes they're from the company that I work for, taken from the archives. And this one was written by them. 15 tricky quiz questions. Answer as many as you can. 1 point for each, just like everything else. But apparently some of them are quite tricky. I think regular quizzes for my quizzes will be okay with this one. So maybe I'll be interested to see how Mark and some of the other new people watching do as well. But I think regulars will recognise a lot of these questions because there's some pub quiz type trivia that just comes up quite often, and it's quite classic common pub quiz knowledge because they are reused quite a lot. So these are some favourites in this round for sure, and some funny ones as well. So I hope you like it. Round number 2. In terms of your riddle is on screen now. So again, you've got something to think about throughout the quiz round in between the questions. This one says, I have seas with no waters, coasts with no sand, towns without people, and mountains with no land. What am I? Keep it to yourself. Don't put this in the comments. But if you do get it right at the end of the quiz round, you will get 2 extra points. Yeah, easy if you know the answer. Oh, Ant says he's knowledgeable. That's why he's a beer god. Excellent. Well, if it got you those extra points, that's very good indeed. So, with that said, let's make a start then with the tricky quiz. So, question number 1. Was Boris Johnson born in New York, London, or Paris? Question 1. Was Boris Johnson born in New York, London, or Paris? For 1 point. And multiple choice as well. Question number 2. Which member of the Monty Python team co-wrote Spamalot? Which member of the Monty Python team co-wrote Spamalot? Question 3 is for 2 points. Which 2 Beatles are dressed in blue and pink on the front cover of the Sgt. Pepper's album? Which 2 Beatles are dressed in blue and pink on the front cover of the Sgt. Pepper's album? Could give you multiple choice for that one as well, but let's be honest, I'd just be naming all 4 Beatles. So I think I'll leave it and make you guess. But 1 point for each. Okay, question number 4. Which famous ship had the registration number NCC 1701? Which famous ship had the registration number NCC 1701? Question number 5 is for another 2 points. Question number 5 then. Which 2 of Henry VIII's wives did he have executed? Which 2 of Henry VIII's wives did he have executed? That's very much a classic subject. Anything, as soon as you see a kind of history question or history quiz round come up, pretty much guaranteed there'll be at least one question about Henry VIII and wives. Yep, every time. Question number 6, multiple choice for this one as well. Question 6, what is the literal meaning of the word Islam? Is it praise, righteousness, or submission? What is the literal meaning of the word Islam? Is it praise, righteousness, or submission? Right, question number 7 now. Remember to ask me for repeats at the end if I go through it too quickly. Question 7. According to the Queen of Hearts in Alice in Wonderland, what kind of food is eaten tomorrow, yesterday, but never today? Love Alice in Wonderland. One of the best Disney ones in my books, at least of the original animated ones before Pixar came along. Alice in Wonderland's brilliant, mainly for the Mad Hatter. Question 7 again. According to the Queen of Hearts in Alice in Wonderland, what kind of food is eaten tomorrow, yesterday, but never today? Your next question will be for 3 points. Purely coincidentally, it's about the Olympics, and we've got Millie with us this evening watching along, playing along, because she is a bit of an Olympics expert. She's going to start saying that she's not, and she's going to get it wrong now, but we'll see. Question number 8 for 3 points. 2 of the Olympic rings are blue and red. What colours are the other 3? 2 of the Olympic rings are blue and red. What colours are the other 3? 1 point for each. Right, question number 9 then. Question 9. Which type of people carrier was first introduced into the UK at Harrods in 1898? Which type of people carrier was first introduced into the UK at Harrods in 1898? Have another look at that riddle. Remember, in between these questions, I have seas with no waters, coasts with no sand, towns without people, and mountains with no land. What am I? I wonder if you'll do better with this one if you didn't get the last one. Question number 10 is for 3 points. Put these annual awards into the correct order with the earliest first. Booker Prize, Pulitzer Prize, Turner Prize. Put these annual awards into the correct order with the earliest first. Booker Prize, Pulitzer Prize, Turner Prize. So the earliest in the year first. Okay, question number 11 now. Question 11. What is Lord Hereford's knob? What is Lord Hereford's knob? Well, I don't know if you heard that. My wife's saying it's supposed to be a family quiz. Yes, keep your answers family friendly. Not that I'm going to read them. I would not ask the question if it was really a rude answer. That's not how this show works. Okay, but what is Lord Hereford's knob? Question, yeah, exactly. Yeah, clean answers only, please. Question 12. What is the most popular toilet paper colour in France? What is the most popular toilet paper colour in France? That's a random question for you. Question number 13 now. Question 13. Osama bin Laden famously supported which London-based football club? Didn't do any good for their reputation as a club, of course. Would have been bad no matter who he supported, obviously, but still. Osama bin Laden famously supported which London-based football club? 2 more questions to go. And 3 points up for grabs across them. Okay, question 14. This one's for 1 point. Discovered in 2017 and because of its yellowish white head scales was similar to Donald Trump's hair, what species of insect is Neopalpa donaldtrumpi? No, I'm not making it up. Discovered in 2017 and because of its yellowish white head scales that was similar to Donald Trump's hair, what species of insect is Neopalpa donaldtrumpi? Name the species of insect for that one. For 1 point. I should have got you a picture ready for it. Damn. Gonna have to look it up after the show now, or on another device if you wanted to after the quiz round's finished and you've heard the answers. No point in cheating. Question 15 then, your final question. You can have 2 points if you get this exactly right. What name completes this set of 4 and why? Poppy May, David Attenborough, Henry Worsley, and which other? So tell me the name that completes the set of 4 and why that name completes the set of 4. 1 point for each. Which name completes this set of 4 and why? Poppy May, David Attenborough, Henry Worsley, and which other? That's the end of the tricky quiz round. Hopefully it wasn't too tricky for you though. Let me know in the comments now if you would like to have any of these questions repeated again. Whilst we wait for those, let's see. I should also let you know about the old charity. I didn't share the link last time, but I did mention it. There's a charity that you could support if you wanted to. Rather than supporting me directly, you can donate some money towards a nominated charity of mine. 15, just need the inspiration, I think you mean. Okay, so I'll say it again. Question 15 again. Which name completes this set of 4 and why? Poppy May, David Attenborough, Henry Worsley, and which other? So think about which name could complete that set and then the reason for it as well. But yeah, essentially, if you wanted to support a charity instead, do something charitable instead of supporting me directly, you can look up Secret Santa 365, and they do a lot of great work in the area to help out children and their young families as well that are struggling these days and have done through the pandemic. Lots of different things you can do to support them. What I will do is put the link now. I found it. I'll put the link into the chat. There we go. That's a link to their website directly this time, rather than their GoFundMe. There's a few different things you can do to support them if you wanted to, and that's there now. Good. Right. Any more repeats then? Does anybody else like to have a repeated question? If not, I will go through the answers. This is also your last chance to find an answer for that riddle or to work out the answer to the riddle if you haven't done so already. I have seas with no waters, coasts with no sand, towns without people, and mountains with no land. What am I? I will give you until the end of this the answers that I run through for the quiz round at least, okay? So here we go then with the answers for this round. Question number 1, was Boris Johnson born in New York, London, or Paris? It was New York. Question 2, which member of the Monty Python team co-wrote Spamalot? That was Eric Idle. Question 3, the 2 Beatles that were on the cover of Sgt. Pepper's album dressed in blue and pink were Paul McCartney and Ringo Starr. Question 4, the famous ship that had the registration number NCC 1701 is the Starship Enterprise off of Star Trek. Question 5, that's just a 1 point question, by the way, Starship Enterprise for 1 point. Question 5, which 2 of Henry VIII's wives did he have executed? It is Anne Boleyn and Catherine Howard for 2 points. Question 6, what is the literal meaning of the word Islam? Is it praise, righteousness, or submission? It's submission. Most people, when I've asked this before in pubs, most people have gone with righteousness and then been surprised when I say submission. Make of that what you will, but the answer is submission. Question 7, according to the Queen of Hearts in Alice in Wonderland, what kind of food is eaten tomorrow, yesterday, but never today? It is jam. Question 8, 2 of the Olympic rings are blue and red. What colours are the other 3? They are green, black, and yellow. For 3 points. Question 9, which type of people carrier was first introduced into the UK at Harrods in 1898? It is the escalator. Question 10, put these annual awards into the correct order with the earliest first. The correct order then, earliest first, is Pulitzer Prize is first. That's typically in April. Booker Prize then in October. And Turner Prize in December. Question 11, what is Lord Hereford's knob? It is a mountain in Wales. So mountain for a point there. Question 12, what's the most popular toilet paper colour in France? That is pink. Question 13, Osama bin Laden famously supported which London-based football club? It's Arsenal. I'm not making any jokes. I'm just going to move on. Most of you know who I support, so I'm just going to move on. Question 14. Discovered in 2017, and because its yellowish white head scales were similar to Donald Trump's hair, which species of insect is Neopalpa Donald Trumpi? It is a moth. And if you Google it, you will know why immediately, because that description is very accurate. Question 15 for 2 points. Which name completes this set of 4 and why? Poppy May, David Attenborough, Henry Worsley, and which other? It is Boaty McBoatface, because those were the names on the national poll to work out the name of that boat. Boaty McBoatface should have been the one that was selected, but of course it went with David Attenborough. But that's the answers there for that last question. So tally up your scores then. Let's see how well you did. Let me know in the comments again the answer to the riddle this time. So seas with no waters, coasts with no sand, towns without people, and mountains with no land. It's a map. It's a map. So give yourself 2 more points if you got map. And let's see how well you did. Start putting those scores in the comments. And let's see how you got on. And then we'll move on to our third round of the evening, which will be around the UK. So as I mentioned at the start of the quiz, around the UK is essentially a geography round, or a trivia round based on things within the UK. A lot of some random geography questions, and yeah, you'll get the gist of it as we go along, I'm sure. Okay. Oh, Mark says I put gallery. Gallery. Ooh, it's good. It's good, but it's not right. Appreciate the guessing, though. Always worth a guess. Always have a go at these things. Don't leave anything blank, because you never know when you're going to get it right when you're not sure. Okay, so some of the scores are coming in now. So 10 points for Diva. She didn't get the riddle, unfortunately. 13, and no riddle answer there either for the Blackpool Bar Stewards, but 13 points, good score. 15, it's 2 points if you get the riddle correct. So 15 plus the 2 points for Back in Black. Donuts scored 12. 8 plus the bonus points there for the riddle. Well done, Millie. 14 for Team Bath. 11. Last 5. 0. Oh, okay. Okay, Mark's given the scores there. 11 points. Ant says 16 plus 2 for Brazilians. 14 plus 0 for the not so golden oldies. Kicking it tonight, says the Brazilians there, Ant. Very good. All right. Keep those comments coming in, those scores coming in. If there's any latecomers, I will read them out, even if we moved on. Speaking of which, Gabby says 14 plus 2 for us. Us is a rubbish team name, by the way. Do not stick with that. 10 for Luke and Jane. Very good. See, in fairness, there's another couple there. Luke and Jane, they haven't got a team name either. So you don't have to have one. Just your names is fine. But it is fun if you do come up with one that you can then keep throughout the quizzes. But anyway, let's move on to round number 3. Okay, so round number 3 around the UK, and you will have a third and final riddle as well, which will be on screen now. Feed me and I live, but give me drink and I die. What am I? That's your third and final riddle this evening. Let's see if you can get this one right. You're going to get 15 questions again for around the UK. 15 questions. Chu says that'll be me scoring 0. I'm sure you won't. Ant had to leave, though. That's why you'll be scoring 0. Oh, come on. No, you'll get some points. Don't worry. Like I said, it's always worth a guess. So see how you go. But don't worry. If you don't put a score in, you don't have to. You know that's fine. It just means you can take all the glory when we get to the Ask Survey Says round and get top answers. Gabby says, I named Cell Marketeers. I have a naming reputation to uphold. Oh, I see. You came up with the actual pub quiz team that you're part of. Okay. I don't think I knew you came up with the name in the end, actually. Oh, there you go. Okay. Well, yes, you do have a reputation to uphold, because that name is the stuff of legend, in the pub quiz, at least. So, yeah. Repeat the riddle, please. Okay. The riddle again. Feed me and I live, but give me a drink and I die. What am I? appreciate the fact some of you might be watching this on your phones and it might be quite small text there, but it is on screen at the top of the chat. Feed me and I live, but give me a drink and I die. What am I? Obviously, I should also take into account that if anybody's watching and listening along and you are, I want to say visually impaired, I don't know if that's still the correct phrase to use or not, but I should read these things out as well more often. So yeah, feed me and I live, but give me a drink and I die. What am I? That's the riddle. Okay, let's start the third round then. So question number 1. In which city is the National Assembly of Wales? In which city is the National Assembly of Wales? Question number 2. Which is the only venomous snake in the UK? In the wild. Obviously, some might have others as pets or in zoos, but in the wild, which is the only venomous snake in the UK? Question number 3 then is a multiple. Question number 3 is for 3 points. You say multiple choice then, it's not that. So for 3 points, in which English counties can you find Stonehenge, Windsor Castle, and the Angel of the North? In which English counties could you find Stonehenge, Windsor Castle, and the Angel of the North for 3 points? Stonehenge, Windsor Castle, and the Angel of the North. All right, your next question is question number 4. In which UK city can you find Arthur's Seat? In which UK city can you find Arthur's Seat? Question number 5 now. Question 5. How many counties are there in Northern Ireland? How many counties are there in Northern Ireland? Question number 6. In which UK city is the oldest university in the UK? In which UK city is the oldest university in the UK? Question number 7 is for 3 more points. In which UK cities could you find the prisons named Wormwood Scrubs, Barlinnie, and Strangeways? In which UK cities can you find the prisons named Wormwood Scrubs, Barlinnie, and Strangeways? 1 point for each, the UK cities. Quite a few multiple point questions coming up. Following on from that last one. Question number 8 is also for 3 points. Which acts had UK chart hits with Mull of Kintyre, London Calling, and Belfast Child? Which acts had UK chart hits with Mull of Kintyre, London Calling, and Belfast Child? 1 point for each. Question 9, those for 1 point. Just the 1 point for this one. Whose cave can you find on the Scottish island of Staffa? Whose cave can you find on the Scottish island of Staffa? Question number 10 is for another point. Which Channel Island is famous for having no cars? Which Channel Island is famous for having no cars? Okay, the remaining questions look like they're all, almost all of them are for 3 points now. So question 11 is for 3 points. Name the patron saints of England, Northern Ireland, Scotland, and Wales. Name the patron saints of England, Northern Ireland, Scotland, and Wales. 1 point for each. Okay, question number 12, just for 1 point this one, and then the rest of them will be 3-pointers. So question 12, whereabouts can you find Landseer's lions? Whereabouts can you find Landseer's lions? Specifically, not just the city or town, or specifically, whereabouts can you find Landseer's lions? Okay, question 13 then. Name the 3 longest motorways in the UK. 1 point for each. They don't need to be in any particular order, but name the 3 longest motorways in the UK. And 1 point for each of them. Three points for the next 2 questions as well. Question 14. Name the longest rivers in England, Scotland, and Northern Ireland. 1 point for each, so 3 in total there. Name the longest rivers in England, in Scotland, and Northern Ireland. Okay. Now the last question then, 3 more points. The Romans named which English cities Londinium, Aquasullis, and Iberacum? The Romans named which English cities Londinium, Aquasullis, and Iberacum? If it helps, I'll put that in the comments as well. So I'll read off the riddle again 1 more time. Now is also the time if you'd like to ask for any repeats of questions. We did go through that one quite quickly, so you've got time for repeats. So the riddle again is, feed me and I live, but give me drink and I die. What am I? Feed me and I live, but give me a drink and I die. What am I? Any more repeats, do let me know. Reminder to you all that, and again, because we've got some new people watching, I provide quiz content not just here on Facebook, but lots of other places too. The logos are all over the place on, let me think, down along the bottom bar there. So Instagram and Twitter and YouTube, I upload these videos to. Eventually, I'll upload all of them, I think. But YouTube's just there to help gain a bit of exposure, I think. This is the main focus here on Facebook, doing the live shows. But we also have TikTok over there in the bottom corner. So TikTok, I share quiz content there, shall we say. So one question typically per video, but I have started now doing what I call quick quizzes, which is 3 questions per video. And you can let me know how you get on in the comments of each video. It's a bit of fun there. Some people have started to do what's called duets with them to see how well they do without looking at the answers or anything. They just do a duet side by side with me and play along, which is quite fun. But sometimes you also get poll buttons to press to guess what you think the answers are as well. So yeah, lots of different things going on over there, which is good fun. Fast heading towards my next milestone of followers too, so that's going well. And then there's the supporting options down here. So Patreon and Buy Me a Coffee are ways to support me as well if you'd like to do that. And also Lima, I'm forgetting Lima actually. I'm slowly getting back to posting more content there. They've launched their new platform and it's all about audio, social audio. So they're recorded quizzes as opposed to live video or picture quizzes or anything like that elsewhere. Lima, Limor, is about audio quizzes, so you can just listen to them on the go and see how you get on. Lots of free quiz content for you all, plenty to keep you occupied if you're ever bored. Okay, nobody's asked for repeats. I thought I would get quite a few requests for repeats. I went through that one quite quickly. Maybe you've all smashed it. Let's find out, shall we? We'll go through the answers then. I'll do the riddle answer last, just to give you a bit more thinking time with it. So question number 1, in which city is the National Assembly of Wales? It is in Cardiff. Question 2, which is the only venomous snake in the UK in the wild? It is the adder. Question 3, in which English counties could you find Stonehenge, Windsor Castle, and the Angel of the North? It's Wiltshire for Stonehenge, Berkshire for Windsor Castle, and Tyne and Wear for the Angel of the North. Question 4, in which UK city can you find Arthur's seat? It is in Edinburgh. Question 5, how many counties are there in Northern Ireland? It is 6 counties in Northern Ireland. Question 6, in which UK city is the oldest university in the UK? Not far away from when I'm recording this for you now. It's in Oxford. Question 7, in which UK cities could you find prisons named Wormwood Scrubs, Barliney, and Strangeways? It's London, Glasgow, Manchester. Question 8, which acts had UK chart hits with Mull of Kintyre, London Calling, and Belfast Child? Paul McCartney and Wings did Mull of Kintyre, The Clash did London Calling, and Belfast Child was by Simple Minds. So that's for 3 points there. Question number 9. Whose cave can you find on the Scottish island of Staffa? It is Fingal's Cave. Question 10. Which Channel island is famous for having no cars? It is Sark. S-A-R-K. Question 11. Name the patron saints of England, Northern Ireland, Scotland, and Wales. It is St. George, St. Patrick, St. Andrew, and St. David. Question 12, whereabouts can you find Landseer's Lions? They're at the base of Nelson's Column in London. So when I said specific, I meant you have to say Nelson's Column. Can't give you the point if you just say London. Question 13, name the 3 longest motorways in the UK. And yes, I'll come back to that one in a moment, Andy. The 3 longest motorways in the UK for number 13 are the M6, the M1, and the M4. Just to repeat then, answer to question 3 was Wiltshire, Berkshire, Tyne and Wear. Yeah, Trafalgar Square. You can have a point for Landseer's Lions. You can have the point for Trafalgar Square because that's where it is, right? So Nelson's Column, Trafalgar Square is close enough for the point, but it's only 1 point. So either or. Yeah, I'll let you off with that one. Thank you for checking that with me. Question 14. Name the longest rivers in England, Scotland, and Northern Ireland. They are the River Severn, the River Tay, and the River Bann. B-A-N-N, not that I would mark you down for spelling. You're welcome. Question 15, the final question in this round was: the Romans named which English cities Londinium, Aquasullis, and Iberacum? Londinium is London. I'm sure many of you would have worked that one out. Aquasullis is Bath. Kind of makes sense when you think about it. Aqua, bath, aqua, water. Yeah. And then Iberacum is York. I don't know the reasons behind that one, though. London, Bath, and York for 3 more points. Tally up your scores then. The answer to the riddle: feed me and I live, but give me a drink and I die. What am I? It is a fire. You feed a fire and it will grow, and if you give it a drink, you're going to douse the flames, it'll die. So fire is the answer for riddle 3. 2 points, though, if you get it right. I'm keeping to the 2 points for those bonus ones, because normally, and in previous quiz shows like this, we've had 2 pictures, 1 point for each. So I'm going to keep that as a kind of standard that you get 2 extra points if you get whatever the bonus question or pictures are at the top there, and it's riddles this week, as you know. So if you get the riddle right, 2 points. Well done. It's fire for this one. Tally up your scores. Let's see how well you did. And then we move on to the all-exciting Our Survey Says round. So Diva says 23 and 0, 25 plus 0 for the not-so-golden oldies. Back in black, 24 plus 2. Oh, you managed to get the riddle this time. Good one. The answers to 14 again, Millie, were the River Severn, the River Tay, and the River Ban. B-A-N-N. 19 points for Mark. Well done. 18 points for Team Bath. 22 plus 2 for the Blackpool Bar Stewards. Sorry, 19 points for Team Botty, I should say, not just Mark. I'm assuming you gave yourself a team name because you're not just there on your own. Doesn't matter either way, but I'm just checking. Good to get to know people that are new in the comments. Right, yeah. So Britzillions 22 plus 2 and 17 points there for Millie. Good scores again. Well done, everybody. Donuts have got 20 points. Excellent. Good job there too. On your own, are you, Mark? Okay, that's fine. Well, we still might say, flip between the two. I still might say Team Botty. You can give yourself whatever team names, it doesn't matter. And a good score in that round. Well done. Gabby says 18 plus 0. We will have a team name next quiz. That's a promise. Okay, do you mean the Patreon quiz next week, which you're obviously both invited to, or do you mean the following week on Facebook? Because you probably won't need it for the Patreon quiz next week, because we'll be mixing it up. But if you thought of it next week, I'd like to know still. Let me know. Any more scores, keep them coming in. I will, of course, give you a shout out, even though I am now going to move on to round number 4, which is the Our Survey Says round. The chat will stay on the screen. It's just going to move a little bit lower down to allow space for the Our Survey Says board. Okay, so again, since we've got Mark joining us and anybody else who's new, I've got 3 questions lined up for you in a Family Fortunes Our Survey Says. How long does it last next week? The Patreon quiz night starts at 8:30 and goes on for about an hour, sometimes a little bit longer. This one would typically be an hour and a half long. So we're coming up to that now. We start at 8 o'clock, normally finish at 8:30. Facebook quiz, give us more time, Gabby says. Yeah, all right. So you've got 2 weeks to come up with a team name. That means there's no excuses if you've forgotten by then. All right. So this will work in a similar way to the previous ones, guys. So for those who haven't played along with this game before, what I'd like you to do is when I reveal the question for this Family Fortune style question, you can have 1 guess per team and you can put that in the chat. And then as those guesses come in and you've all had 1 guess each, I'll give you a little bit of time, then I'll reveal where those answers lie on the board. And we'll see who can get the closest to, if not the top answer. So obviously, the better you can do would mean getting closer and closer to the top answer. Once you've all had 1 guess, 1 attempt, then after that, it's a free-for-all. You can put in as many guesses as you like, and then I'll reveal them as we go along. Okay? And we'll do this 3 times over. So we've got 3 questions this evening. We normally, well, last time we had 2. Now I've created a new one and made it 3, and that's the most it will be, I think, for this kind of quiz night. So let's bring in the question. So 100 people were surveyed and they were asked to name a body part with only 3 letters in its name. What do you think the top answer was? You get 1 guess each for now. And let's see who gets closest to the top answer. So put your guesses in the chat. And let's see. What we don't want to see is wrong answers. Because if you get a wrong answer, you'll see this. And we don't want to see any of those. So get those guesses in. I can already see some coming through, which is great. Once I see enough of them in, I will then call it and start reading out where the answers have come in. We may even find that we've got them all with 1 guess each, because there's quite a mix of them coming in already. So we've got leg, arm, ear, bum. Oh, good one. Yeah, leg, arm, ear seem to be the main 3 popping up. Leg from the not so golden oldies. Toe, says Gabby. All right, okay. We've got plenty of guesses in. I'm going to go through them in the order they came in. So the first guess we saw, I know it's spelt wrong, but leg was the first one that popped up for Mark. Let's see where leg is for all of you who put leg. It was the top answer. Very well done. Leg is the top answer. So did anybody else put it? Yes, Millie put leg as well. Great job. And leg for the not so golden oldies. So there's 3 entries there for the top answer. The next one we had in was arm. So this is Team Bath, Diva, you both said arm, and that's it. So let's see where arm came in. Arm came in. Oh, hold on. Let's get this back again. Arm, there we go. Arm was the second answer, coincidentally. Next one we had a lot of guesses in for was ear. So ears from Vernia and from the Blackpool Bar Stewards. The Donut said ear as well. Yeah, that's it for that one. So ear was in number 4. The 4th spot was ear. And the other one we had in was toe from Andy and Gabby. That's the next one we had in. So toe, is it there? That was 5. We have got another guess in. So Mark's, you can now put in as many guesses as you like, by the way, if you can think of any others. We have got in bum as a guess as well. Let's see if bum, is it there? Is it that 3rd one? It's not there, I'm afraid. No. Let's see what other guesses we've got in. Eyes. Yes. Okay, so eyes are coming in now. Mark and Sue the Donuts. Oh, Eric's gone with hip. Is hip there? No. Toe got 5th plus a mystery prize, Andy says. All right, let's put you out of the misery now then. What is that 3rd one? It's I. Well done for those who put I to complete the board for that question. Good effort, everybody. Got that one done quite quickly. So yes, Toe got 5th for a mystery prize. You know, now you've said that, I'm going to have to work out some way of incorporating it, aren't I? I am going to have to work out a way of incorporating it. I do need that sound effect, though. I'm not going to do it if I can't get a clean version of that sound effect to put in for you. Trouble is, whenever you try and take a sound effect like that, it's got to come from the show. And if it comes from the show, you're going to get applause in the background, and it's always like a really kind of poor sound quality to try and lift that from the show. So I'll try and work something out. What the mystery prize is, I don't know, but I would love to incorporate it. All right. Let's reset the board and we'll go on to question number 2 now. And your question for question number 2 in the Our Survey Search round is for another 5 answers. We're looking for 1 guess per team again until I open up for the rest of you to guess for the rest of them. 1 guess per team for now, okay? Name a make of crisps. Name a make of crisps. Get your answers in the comments. Let's see how you go with this one. Name a make of crisps. Jenny, Team Bath, they're straight in there with Walkers. Does anybody else think that's going to be the top answer? Yes, most of you think that's going to be the top answer. Blackpool Bar Stewards, Millie, Not So Golden Oldies. Amanda's gone with Walkers as well. Oh, Vernia's gone with Smiths. Pringles as well, we've got in there from Gabby. Golden Wonder. from Diva. I haven't had Golden Wonders in a long time. Are they still a thing? Golden Wonders. Okay, all right. So most of you have gone with Walkers. Team Bath were the first ones to get the answer in. But anyway, let's see where it lies on the board then, because surely it's there. And it is the top answer. Top answer there. Brilliant. Let's go down the list then. The next one we've got in is Pringles from Gabby. Does anybody else say Pringles? No. Okay, so Pringles. Let's see if Pringles is there. It is there. I just clicked Pringles. There we go. Pringles is the third answer on our list of 5. What else have we got then? Smiths. Is Smiths there? No. Golden Wonder? That's not there either, I'm afraid. Let's have a look at what other ones we've got. Pringles, Smiths, Walkers, Golden Wonder, Little Own Brand. We're not playing pointless. You got to guess the most popular ones. It's always worth a guess. I love it. Keep it coming. Not me, Peter, Vernier said. Okay. It's difficult to tell when you're commenting as Vernier's account, though. Millie says Doritos. Doritos is a good guess. Let's have a look, see if Doritos is there. Yes, that's the 4th one on the list. Good shout there. And McCoy's as well. Is McCoy's there, I wonder? Look at that. It's the 2nd one on the list. Golden Wonder is still a thing in the shipping in Teignmouth in Devon. There you go. It must still be a thing. Yes, Smart Botty went with McCoy's as well. Quavers, Pete and Vernier said there. Is Quavers one of our missing answers, or the missing answer there? It's not there. No. Kettle chips, are they there? No. Good guess. I like those. But no, it's not there. Any more for any more? Sea salt ones? No. Pom Bears. Good guess. We like Pom Bears in this house as well. Not there. Monster Munch. Space Raiders. Tatoes? None of those are there either, I'm afraid. Hula hoops from Gabby. Is hula hoops there? Is that the missing answer of our board of top 5 answers for naming a make of crisps? It is. Hula hoops is the missing answer. Excellent stuff. Well done. So good job there. Managed to complete the board again. And well done if you got the top answer there. Most of you were quite quick there. Unlucky. We just had some extra guesses in there. Seabrook, KP, Tyrrells. Yeah, you're really scraping the barrel now out with all of those other random crisps. But hula hoops was the 5th answer. Just resetting the board again, and we'll go back on to the next question then, our final question of the evening, as we approach the hour and a half mark of the show, which has been quite good timing wise, I think. Sorry if the sound cuts out as I transition between scenes there, but we are moving on now. We've got that 3rd question on screen. So normally we would only do 2. I've managed to get this all working in such a way now that we can do 3, he says, hoping it all works again. Name a popular manufacturer of motorcycles, and this time we're looking for the top 8 answers. We're using the whole of the board. Name a popular manufacturer of motorcycles, and please, 1 guess per team to begin with, as per usual. Let's see what you think the top answer could be. A popular manufacturer of motorcycles. And this is a very up-to-date, accurate thing, because I literally took this from some of the most recent episodes and question bank of Our Survey Says kind of questions. So this is bang up to date, this list. Okay, good few guesses coming in. We have Harley Davidson coming in. That's the first one. So Mark's gone with Harley Davidson. So has Jenny. Millie says Harley Davidson as well. Let's see if we get any more coming in. Harley Davidson. Okay, let's start with that one then. So Harley Davidson, is that there? I wonder. Let's have a quick look at my list. Harley Davidson is number 7. Number 7 on the list. Let's see what the next one is, I wonder. What have you been guessing there? Honda. So Brazilians are going with Honda. And Eric, Blackpool Bar Stewards there, Honda. Okay, let's see if Honda's there. And if it is, how high up in the list does it go? Second. It's the second highest answer. Good guess. What else have we got then? Oh, yes, Sue says, is that Sue saying Harley there as well? Triumph. Is Triumph on the list? It's number 5. Number 5 on the list. Kawasaki's another one here. Kawasaki from the Donuts, from Amanda. Mark as well is going with Kawasaki amongst a few others. Keep your guesses coming in. I'll scroll back up in the list in a minute. But Kawasaki, number 4 on the list. Let's go back up. Yamaha has come in there. Yamaha's coming from Gabby. And nobody else is saying Yamaha. Well, Gabby, you've gone with Yamaha, and you and whatever your team are called have found the top answer. Very well done. Yamaha's the top answer on the board this time. Now let's see if we can complete the board. So another guess from Mark is BMW. So is BMW there? It is. That was number 6. Our 6th most popular answer for BMW there. What else we got? KTM, another one from the Donuts. Not there. Ducati. Is Ducati there? We've got another few guesses coming in now. So Vernier, Eric, and I think I saw one other. I thought it was an organ. Ducati. Okay, so Ducati is there. But is it 3 or is it 8? It is number 3 on the list. So there's one more to find. One more answer we're looking for. Norton from the Not So Golden Oldies. Not Norton, no. Vespa from Eric. Is it Vespa? Is that the last answer to complete the board? No, not there. Mark's gone with Suzuki as another guest there. I don't think I've read that one out yet, have I? Suzuki. Let me see if anybody else has put anything else in. No, right. Suzuki, surely. Is that the last answer to complete the board? It is. Suzuki's the last answer. And that completes our survey says 3rd question on manufacturers of motorcycles. We did have, Piaggio, Lambretta as well. More good guesses, but Suzuki is what completes the board. So I'll just reset that again. And guys and girls, that brings us to the end of another quiz night. Episode 82 is in the bag. All done. Next week is Patreon quiz night. If you want to join in and you haven't joined Patreon yet, you can do. The link is in the description for what's called a beacon link. You click on that, it'll give you a list of everything you can support me on, and one of those at the top will be Patreon. £2 a month is the minimum entry, and payment will be taken as soon as you go through. So if you want to do it in advance of next week, you can do, and then I will add you to the Patreon exclusive Facebook group, and that is where I will share the link for our Google Meet. And you also get normally you get advance warning as to what the subjects are for each Facebook Live quiz as well, and you get to help me choose the subjects that we do for these quiz rounds. So if you do get a request in, I will give you a shout out and a thank you on the show as well, to tell everybody how grateful I am that you helped bring this show together by suggesting the subjects that we cover, or even just some question ideas. All appreciated. Patrons get preference at that. So yeah, leave your last few comments then. I'll go through them all once the show's over with. These always get posted afterwards, so you can tell your friends, go back and watch them again if they wanted to check them out for the first time. Share them, give all those positive emojis before you go, all the likes, all that stuff helps this content and helps the show grow that much more. And give us a follow in all the other places if you haven't done so already. Thank you very much, guys. Really appreciate it. 2 weeks' time, we'll be back here on Facebook, another 8 o'clock start. 8:30 next week will be the Patreon quiz night. And I think that's about it. So I'll go over to my little outro and I'll say my usual goodbyes. See you all same time next time for more of the same fun. Cheers. Good night.